Two deportation flights during this week arrived into Maiquetía airport from the United States, which suggests that FIR Maiquetía is safe, in spite of all this war propaganda. The most important topic of conversations between United States and Venezuela, which is repatriating all Venezuelan illegal migration criminals, are being successfully deported and welcomed back into Venezuela. 400 people were repatriated this week in about 80 flights during this second Donald Trump administration. November 27 was the celebration of the Venezuelan military aviation. Specialized military sources, many of them widely available in social media, provide a glimpse on how quickly Venezuelan aviation has strengthened due to a massive cooperation with Russia. Venezuela continues to warn United States that we are ready to resist any hostile attack if Donald Trump chooses to act in hostility. Russian cooperation with Venezuela has intensified strongly, and there are permanent commissions of both countries updating details in petroleum and gas explorations. It looks like Russia would like to be a significant investor in Venezuela's petroleum industry in competition with China. The longer Donald Trump takes to dialogue with President Nicolás Maduro, the more difficult it will become for American petroleum companies to be allocated any oil and gas fields, as the whole country is already being successfully allocated among vendors of other sovereign nations. A new University of Hydrocarbons was created this week, and students will learn various oil and gas technical and strategic details on how to sovereignly manage our natural resources. Venezuela's Foreign Minister Ivan Gil also met with the coordinator of United Nations in Venezuela. Topics of conversation included Venezuela's request for United Nations to function as a governing body of the international community and continue investigating if current United States activities in the Caribbean violate international law. If any war crimes are detected, United Nations should establish a pathway for punishment of war criminals. IATA, International Aviation Transportation Authority, is now complaining on behalf of airlines Taper Portugal, Iberia, Turkish Airlines, GOL, Avianca. We should recall that such airlines obeyed an order from the Federal Aviation Administration of the United States, which does not control Flight Information Region of Maiquetía, to suspend flights because of military activity. It must be noted that military activity is provoked by the United States within the boundaries of FIR Maiquetía, while Venezuela has not launched anything and is only defending its sovereignty in an extremely responsible way, not escalating at any time. Revocation of licenses of those companies that chose not to continue flying to Venezuela is final, and we will seek alternative commercial airlines to address profitable airplane traffic of travel-savvy Venezuelans who enjoy tourism abroad. Foreign Minister of Venezuela, Ivan Hill, also sent a letter of condolences to Hong Kong, China, which suffered a deadly fire, wishing for speedy recovery of survivors. Godwin Friday won elections in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Venezuela looks forward to work with new administration. It is our hope that St. Vincent and the Grenadines will continue acting as a valued member of ALBA and CARICOM. Recently, Bolivia had to be expelled from ALBA because its new president spoke in derogatory terms about the Bolivarian alliance of Caribbean and South American nations. Much talk has been conducted in Caribbean countries as it has been perceived from Kamla Persad-Bissessar in meddling in elections of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, just as Donald Trump is backing Nasri Asfura in Honduras. However, it must also be noted that Ralph Gonsalves had already served during 24 years as Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and the local population asked for a change. Time will tell us if this change of government will result in increased United States military presence and bases in St. Vincent and the Grenadines as a new destination for their warfare tactics. The Caribbean region is urged to develop a military alliance. That was a dream of former President Hugo Chavez when he pushed for the creation of Mercosur. A common military defense system must be created between Caribbean countries so that we can manage to protect our zone of peace as a sphere of influence. However, the intense military pressure of the United States to the Dominican Republic, Guyana, and Trinidad and Tobago, as well as Puerto Rico, which remains as a United States colony, would challenge this common defense system. It sounds like Caribbean countries will need to develop our joint defense system and establish clear boundaries and deterrence activities with the United States, which refuses to leave the Caribbean region, as it has already invaded the minds of populations of a number of countries who prefer being vassals of the United States rather than remaining independent. The fight against colonialism is extremely tough. There are 4 strong countries: Brazil, Venezuela, Colombia, and Mexico, which are taking the big step of deterring United States hegemony in Latin America and the Caribbean. All remaining countries are extremely harassed by the United States, and their populations are at risk of losing independence and becoming de facto colonies of United States. A word of caution must be pronounced about Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Amor Motley, who posted a social media recognition of Godwin Friday victory in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and when I replied to her that the military alliance of Caribbean countries must be expanded to ensure independence of our countries, she freaked out. She deleted her congratulation to Godwin Friday and acted just like Kamla Persad-Bissessar, who chose to block comments on her social media. There is no point in publishing in social media if you delete comments or block responses. That is highly unprofessional, and that provides a sensation to the international community that politicians do not care at all about their constituents, and they resent being offered any feedback. Barbados public opinion is already suggesting that Mia Amor Motley in forthcoming elections in Barbados will have a hard time. She might either remain as Prime Minister or be ousted or kicked out by a more vigorous candidate, not afraid of taking a stand. And in case Mia Amor Motley remains as Prime Minister of Barbados, it is likely that her coalition party would lose seats at the Barbados Parliament, suggesting that opposition movements in Barbados are growing. We are still wondering what will happen with Grenada and the United States request for radars at the airport. Much military activity of the United States should be expected in Grenada as in neighboring Trinidad and Tobago and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Such increased United States military presence is expected to occur. Venezuela has no choice but to continue fortifying our naval and air defense, because the offense of the United States and the vassal countries that choose to relinquish their sovereignty offers a cold or hot war conflict during the next 3 years. Grenada remains a suitable partner for Venezuela developing Dragon gas field. As we know, energetic deals with Trinidad and Tobago have been revoked because of Trinidad and Tobago's facilitation of United States invasion against Venezuela. The island of Tobago is actually becoming a hotspot as a brand new United States military facility is being deployed at Crown Port Airport, suggesting the possibility of an independence movement of Tobago, which would like to be cut off conflict-prone Trinidad. Perhaps Tobago would not like to be a vassal of the United States and will fight for independence from Trinidad. Honduras is a hot spot for elections, and the United States, through Donald Trump, is rooting for victory of Nasri Asfura, while Venezuela is rooting for the victory of Rixi Moncada. Both United States and Venezuela will watch very closely what the election results in Honduras will be. Recent poll suggests a slight majority of Rixi Moncada, and should she win the elections, we might get a repeat of previous Venezuelan elections where the opposition claims unsubstantiated victory. United States is desperate for increasing military ties to Honduras, as it would give it a launching platform for destabilization of Nicaragua. Russia, China, Iran, and Venezuela must fortify our alliance and be aware of all these geopolitical developments in various countries, which are becoming the object of appetite of United States for new colonies, either through hot war or through psychological mental colonization of a population that no longer seems willing to defend their sovereignty. Venezuela condemns Israel's attack at Beit Jin in Syria. Palestine and Lebanon continue being attacked by Israel. Israel is acting just like the United States. They consider themselves as the inheritors of God, and they enjoy killing and making war to other countries. Both the United States and Israel are famous for committing war crimes, and it is time that the international community produces all sorts of lawsuits and international court cases to bring into justice anyone toying with genocide. President Nicolás Maduro has accepted phone call from President Donald Trump. In a phone call where Secretary of State Marco Rubio was surprisingly present. They exchanged basic information and commented about the possibility of an in-person meeting, which would entail in normalization of diplomatic relations between United States and Venezuela and would avert the risk of war. Venezuela would have a long list of requirements. Personal meeting between Donald Trump and Nicolás Maduro may not occur in the United States because there are laws in the United States, such as the Foreign Terrorist Organization designation and the indictment from the Circuit Court of New York, which would make it risky for Nicolás Maduro to fly to the United States, as he would become arrested. A personalized meeting in Qatar is not feasible either, because Israel is close by and Israel has a tendency of killing by treason anyone who dialogues and seeks peace. Qatar's air defense system is faulty because it comes from the United States, and United States will always choose Israel as a preferred ally, and whenever there is a conflict between Qatar and Israel, United States blocks Qatar's air defense system while permitting Israel to commit war crimes. Similarly, Egypt is not a safe place, as Qatari negotiators for mediation with Hamas were killed recently. while traveling to Egypt. Therefore, Nicolas Maduro may not meet Donald Trump in the Middle East. The most suitable scenario for a high-level summit between Presidents Nicolas Maduro and Donald Trump would be in either China or Russia. Donald Trump has been invited to Russia and China several times. Therefore, arrangements could be made that Nicolas Maduro flies to either China or Russia to meet with Donald Trump. Both China and Russia are extremely interested in averting Venezuela-United States war, and they are likely to provide all security measures for improving confidence to both parties in conflict, which are United States and Venezuela, as regional powers of the Western Hemisphere. Domestically, United States is facing trouble as Secretary of War continues engaged in questionable behavior, suggesting he is already a war criminal. Information has been provided during recent days that Pete Hegseth ordered 4 strikes against the first boat attacked near Trinidad waters, killing 11 people. The first 2 attacks killed many of the occupants of the boat. However, some survived, and Pete Hegseth gave a second order of 2 additional strikes to kill everybody, as he did not want to have any evidence. He did not want to prosecute. He just wanted to assassinate innocent fishermen, and there was never any proof that they were drug traffickers. And if they were drug traffickers, they should have been indicted and the merchandise should have been seized. The family of a Trinidad fisherman who was killed in one of such incidents is already working with the Inter-American Human Rights Council to sue the United States for committing war crimes. Legal struggles for the United States are horrifying. United States has no allies. All it can do is to harass small Caribbean and South American countries to become colonies. But the rest of the world in Europe, Asia, Africa, and Oceania does not want to deal with United States war on the Caribbean, which suggests implicit support to Venezuela. It is important that Nicolas Maduro, when he meets Donald Trump, he reminds him that both Marco Rubio and Pete Hegseth are acting as war criminals, and a war of the United States against Venezuela could well signal the end of Trump's presidency. Should Donald Trump engage in peaceful agreements with President Nicolas Maduro, United States presidency could be saved from impeachment and might place Donald Trump again on the path of a possible Nobel Peace Prize next year. Little by little, we are becoming successful in changing the narrative of regime change in Venezuela as a regime preservation of the United States, thanks to gracious dialogue efforts from Venezuela.